WWE 2K25 is a very big video game. New modes, an enormous roster, and more are all here to try and eat up your time and dig into your wallet. The production values are through the roof, and the new Island mode tries to bring that 2K microtransaction-focused social hub to the ring. Many parts of the franchise are as good as they've ever been. The one area I do feel is a little bit of a holding pattern is the in-ring action itself. Still, there is a lot to break down in this yearly release, so let's dive right into it in the XboxEra review of WWE 2K25. First up are all the freaking modes. There's a lot of them returning and new, making it one of the biggest titles in sports entertainment history, where we have the play mode. It's your bread and butter exhibition mode. It's got 27 different match types, each with our own bevy of options. You have normal, tag team, extreme rules, underground, bloodline rules, special guest referee, brawl, Royal Rumble, battle royale, Hell in a Cell, steel cage, elimination chamber, table ladders and chairs, gauntlet turmoil, gauntlet eliminator, war games, casket, ambulance, Iron Man, falls count anywhere, last man standing, submission, no holds barred, and tournament. Oh, that was all one take. You, of course, have My Rise, a story mode where you can play a series of matches during a choose-your-own-adventure style storyline. You can be either a women or men's division character, where you have many choices to make as you try to take over the company as the face of its new era. This year's Showcase mode, which is Fast and Furious, says, it's all about family. The Bloodline dominates the industry, and their family history is told through a series of decently well put together matches in which you can repeat or even change history. The Island is the big new mode. It's like My City from the NBA 2K titles. You'll make a character and slowly walk around an ad-filled hellscape while constantly being bombarded with the fact that you can spend VC coins to make your character better, faster. It's about being online, so it was pretty darn empty during the review period, and is going to live and die on how well it can hook people into making this their forever game, as they take on other players and do basic PvE quests. The classic card My Faction Squad Builder is back, where you'll once again grind or spend money to unlock new packs as you build a roster to beat both the computer and human player alike. They gave us the Bloodlines edition for this review, a ridiculous $120 cost. I used the 100+ thousand VC coins to immediately have a way stronger roster than I could have otherwise. It's fairly deep, looks slick, and thankfully it does offer pretty decent rewards if you're not looking to spend extra money. Universe is back. It's the build and book your own company mode. It's got its classic sandbox style from last year, but alongside that is a new superstar mode where you just choose to be one character to play as, while you then choose a show to try and dominate. It didn't seem that different from last year's in the sandbox mode, but thankfully this one is not microtransaction focused in any obvious way. And lastly, there is My GM, where solo or with buds, you can set up rival organizations that try and book the best talent and shows. Whoever keeps within their budget and puts on the best show and the fans love them, they win. It's a decently fun balance of trying to have said best talent, comfiest arenas, and the smartest match setups. The whole creation suite is back, allowing you to edit damn near everything in the game. You've got Superstar, Entrance, Championship, Show, Image, Video, Moveset, Victory, your own custom Money in the Bank, Arena, custom matches, and signs available. It's really big, and it should keep anyone happy, as they can bring in every classic wrestler, anime star, and people not in the WWE organization in over time. To round things out, you've got your online section, which has lobbies to join for multiplayer matches, leaderboards, which show a bevy of online statistics mainly focused on wins, and other creations to find in the online section, where you can also choose your region and whether or not you want to have cross-platform creations show up or not. Always got to be wary with those PC guys and all their hentai. The extras section has a link to the store, because they want you to buy stuff, let you see the full roster, go over credits, go through the game's vast collection of music, look at your control scheme, change a lot of gameplay settings, and visit the Performance Center for tutorials, as well as set the audio. I think WWE 2K25 is a damned good-looking game most of the time. It goes for a photorealistic look on character faces. Once again, the lack of constant animations can lead to a little bit of an uncanny valley experience. The game wants everything to look, feel, and sound like you're watching wrestling on television in a world that believes it to be unscripted. And trust me, it is real. People beat the shit out of each other while doing this for our enjoyment, but the matches are scripted. The game, though, chooses to make it like it's an actual sport that you are really trying to win at. You can unlock dozens of arenas and hundreds of wrestlers, and you can feel the dedication put into making all of it feel like the real thing. Animations flow very well in 1v1 setups, though things can break often when multiple fighters get into the mix. You'll use the right stick to swap between targets in those modes, and it felt decent at times, but in the more chaotic situations, the game just tended to ignore someone trying to attack another if they're already locked into pretty much any type of animation. And that was kind of my main problem with the act of playing the game, is still that loving detail to making it feel like it does on TV means you end up spending large parts of matches with little to no control. The most important button in the game is Y, and it is your only chance to ever break out of those moves. For a split second, most of the time, when someone tries to hit or grapple you, the Y button will pop up over your head. You have between 0.1 and say a full second, depending on the skill level and stamina of your fighter, because as the fight goes on, you get less and less time to counter, and it can lead to some brutal sequences. If you are new to the series, there is a lot to learn. For old hats like myself, it's all relatively familiar and smartly streamlined, I think, in past iterations, because in this one, I never felt confused about what button to use in any given situation. And they've got that Performance Center tutorial, which is massive, but I think it's really worth it for anyone who hasn't played a 2K wrestling title before. One nice change is there's also co-ed fighting, so you can just pit anyone against anyone and just pummel the crap out of each other. And 2K25 does something that I thought impossible. It has announcers who I did not find annoying or in the way. During matches, they may repeat lines a little bit here and there, but it's never frustrating, and shockingly, they are not annoying. It is a little bit of a different story for the modes where voice acting comes into play. Especially during My Rise, the recordings kind of sound pristine, which can kind of break the immersion because you are in like these big open hallways in the back of an arena, and it doesn't feel like I'm actually listening to two people talk to each other. I know it's not a deal breaker, but I like that immersion, and the stilted wooden line reads probably didn't help much either. As far as sound effects, crowd noises, and music go, it's all solid. Nothing stood out while playing on an Xbox Series X, and it ran well with no hiccups, though the lack of HDR did hurt to see on my OLED. 2K25 is a pretty nice looking game as far as the wrestlers and the arenas go. The crowd's alright, but there's a lot of repeated models standing very close to each other, so wrapping things up, these yearly sports titles releases can be a little tough to review, as I don't get to live in them like so many people reading this will choose to do. From someone who has reviewed the last few 2K games, I think this one feels like a solid iteration on the very excellent job of what last year did. Doesn't reinvent the wheel, so much as it refines it to run more smoothly. WWE 2K25 is a very big game with an enormous amount of content on offer, whether you're into the online part or not.